If you've been keeping up with tennis, you'd know how Nick Kyrgios is known to be the quintessential bad boy in the game. He's had quite a few tennis outbursts, both on and off the court, and somehow his tantrums tend to get highlighted the most. Today, we're gonna be looking at why Nick Kyrgios is a misunderstood character that everyone can eventually learn to love. So, without further ado, let's dive right into it, starting with why he might be misunderstood. As established, Nick is often in the limelight because of his anger and temper issues, and everyone out there, including the media, tends to highlight his shortcomings more than his talent because it generates clicks and views. But there's another aspect to this entire scenario. Has anyone ever wondered why he is the way he is? And what is it about him that people end up misunderstanding? It all really comes down to how he reacts both on and off the court to stressful situations. First up, a look at what made him the villain. For starters, he tossed a chair onto the court after a loss to Novak Djokovic at the Italian Open in 2019, and a tennis racket in the direction of a ball boy at the Indian Wells tournament in March 2022. Kyrgios has been known to deliberately aim the ball toward his opponents. In the 2019 Wimbledon second round, he confessed to doing so in an effort to strike him straight in the chest. When playing Rafael Nadal, he once received a £10,000 fine and a 28-day suspension from play for calling Bernard Tomic stupid and irrelevant, and then informing Swiss Grand Slam winner Stan Wawrinka during play that Tomic's pal had your woman, mate. The apparently rash behavior has continued off the court as well, with incidents including drinking the night before a career-defining match, accusations of infidelity from his partners, and a call to the police following a violent disagreement with his fiancée. A scream-off with his then-girlfriend Chiara Passari ended with police being summoned to a quarantined hotel in Adelaide in October 2021. Passari had posted an angry tirade on social media in which she accused Kyrgios of cheating and being a player before insulting the flowers she thought he had sent as an apology. Who the gives flowers to someone when they keep on doing the same shit? Tennis pro Andy Murray has moved on from his ex-girlfriend to Costine Hatzi, who is a regular spectator at his matches. Moving on, he might be perceived as mean because he demands respect. After his straight sets victory against Filip Krajinovic at Wimbledon, Nick Kyrgios' infamous swagger was on full show. The brazen Australian called himself one of the most significant guys in tennis as he responded to the backlash he received for his behavior in the first round against Paul Jubb. Kyrgios, now 27, spat at a spectator and engaged in a running verbal war with referees before ultimately prevailing in 5 sets. Even after the incident, he refused to apologize, saying that he had been the target of racist remarks from onlookers. Regardless, he was hit with the highest penalty handed out in the championship so far, an £8,200 fine. During his post-game news conference, however, he reverted to his old habits and blamed the media and supporters for the loss. Some individuals, he said, like tearing him down for no reason at all. We've reached a point where that's just impossible. Nick said, I know what I bring to the sport. I'm one of the most important people in the sport. Do you want to speak about that? Nothing to investigate there because it's just factual. He also added, I'm extremely confident in myself. All the challenges I've overcome in my life. I'm proud to be up here and doing it my way. Being able to produce tennis like that at Wimbledon, it's a dream come true for any tennis player. Not to mention, his bad boy reputation tends to get him in trouble. Now, if you've been following up with Nick and his endeavors, you'd know that the man tends to get the worst of judgments because he tends to act out. So even in situations when he's not wrong, his opponents tend to get the benefit of the doubt. One lady, after being accused of being intoxicated and a distraction by Australian tennis player Nick Kyrgios during the men's final at Wimbledon in July, threatened to sue Kyrgios for slander. Kyrgios' outburst prompted the temporary removal of Polish attorney Anna Paulus from center court for making a reckless and utterly unfounded charge against her. As Paulus put it, after the match, Paulus claimed that she had only 2 drinks and that she had been cheering for Kyrgios when she was dragged out. In this case, many people out there believe that Nick was not wrong here. Fans argued that the 2 drinks still counted and that the lady was in the wrong here. However, in the end, it was Nick who ended up apologizing to the woman as he settled the case in court. This is where many were of the opinion that Nick was treated unfairly, only because he had a negative formed right from the beginning. What's more, he often tries hard, which is overlooked. The sudden rise of tennis prodigy Nick Kyrgios to national hero status was one of Australia's most devastating bushfires least expected and most ironic results. The online razor gang of Kyrgios haters finally relaxed when he donated $200 to the fires for every ace he hit this summer, an offer that prompted a wave of similar offerings from athletes across the globe. When Kyrgios voiced his opinion, it sparked a movement. Offers of help and money continued to pour in. The tale behind Shane Warne's kind deed of donating $1 million worth of baggy green. In an open letter to Kyrgios, Warne, of Mum's Diet Pills and Mirrored Ceiling fame, wrote, "You're trying our patience, buddy." The responses to Kyrgios' tweet on the bushfires were interesting in their own right. The sports editor of a newspaper whose tennis column space typically profits from being stuffed to the gills with blustering comments on all of Nick Kyrgios' non-turning moments, said, "This might be the turning point for Nick Kyrgios." However, the fascinating parts were the responses of total strangers. "I'm not usually a fan of your actions. However, credit where it's due," said one. "This is a bloody brilliant idea." As a result, previously quiet Australians were showing unprecedented enthusiasm for the loudest Australian. Kyrgios unexpectedly found a previously hidden patriotism, lifting it to a new level when playing in Australian colors. Not to forget, he struggles with mental health issues too. Nick Kyrgios, a professional tennis player, has spoken publicly about his struggles with mental health, including substance misuse and self-harm. The mysterious Australian has always been open about his troubled history with tennis, which contributes to his reputation as a polarizing character among spectators. Kyrgios said he hated his life and spiraled out of control, but that the worldwide shutdown in 2020 due to the coronavirus epidemic helped him start to overcome some of those difficulties. This, he continued, was quite severe, almost to the point of self-harm, and it was not acceptable. The actor said he had isolated himself from those who cared about him, stopped talking, and avoided social situations in an effort to face his difficulties head-on. His drug and alcohol use, he stated, had gotten out of hand. This man used to drink heavily, but now he seldom even finishes a glass of wine with supper. That was the first thing he had to clean up, and from there, he could work on mending fences with his loved ones and establishing new, healthier routines in areas such as nutrition, rest, and exercise. Nick said that, in his opinion, COVID was a major factor in his success. At these low points, Kyrgios says he felt like he was always disappointing others. Following up, the hate often gets a little out of hand. At times, he recalls, he thought they really didn't care who I was as a human being, rather simply a tennis player, the crazy tennis player. He continued by saying that he loathed his life at one point and felt useless and uncomfortable. Kyrgios claimed that he was just in a horrible mental space and that things got pretty dark for him at a point. In his own words, "What doesn't kill you makes you stranger and stronger. I'm still a bit cooked." Kyrgios claims the years of online harassment have significantly impacted him. The champion of the men's doubles event at the Australian Open is the son of a Greek father and a Malay mother, and has spoken out about the frequent racial abuse he receives online. Nick also said that he deals with it all the time. People just think raising a finger, abusing someone, or making racist comments is acceptable today, and Nick said that he just doesn't think that's acceptable at all. Now you just have to use it as motivation, but that's easier said than done. He said they say horrible things about him and they act badly. Comparatively, what you've accomplished dwarfs what others have. Try to shrug it off, channel the energy into a good direction, and surround yourself with individuals who are a constant source of encouragement. And finally, maybe we should learn a thing or two from him. Nick Kyrgios, a rising tennis star, has faced labels, expectations, and criticism from the start of his career. Tabloid publications and other players alike have criticized him harshly and his approach to the game. Some of us are probably all too acquainted with this sting of being told we don't measure up, that our behavior is unacceptable, or that we're just plain unlikable. When life starts bringing you down, it stinks. But Kyrgios is the kind of person who has proven to battle through every curveball that's thrown his way. Keeping calm under pressure is a great challenge, but the athlete manages to do it every single time. Kyrgios' recent play at the Australian Open demonstrates that overcoming stereotypes and being your best self is simpler than it may seem. And with that, that's a wrap for this video. So what do you think? Do you think he's misunderstood by the fans, or is the attitude directed toward him justified? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.